pattern readers. It's been quite a while since I've done one of my spoiler-free character and casting profiles for The Wheel of Time. And this one isn't new casting news, but rather one that I've taken my time to put together because there's a lot I want to say about this character, Logain, and the actor portraying him, Álvaro Morte. If these videos are new to you, check out my playlist because I've done profiles on all the major cast members so far, and at the same time, I give you introductions to the characters and relevant world building from the books, but without going into spoilers and plot points. So this video and others in the series are safe for people who haven't finished the Wheel of Time books and might want to know more about them or about the TV show. In this video, I'm going to give you a little bonus, because after I talk about Logain and Álvaro Morte, at the very end, I'm going to get into some speculation about Logain's storyline for Season 1 of the TV show. That part will contain spoilers, but I'll warn you when you get to there, so if you need to click away, you can. So who is Logain? For starters, he is a man who can channel the One Power. And in this world, that makes him the object of fear. You need a little history lesson to understand why. The male half of the One Power, called saidin, has been unsafe to use for thousands of years, ever since it became corrupted by the taint, the touch of the Dark One, a source of evil in the world. And that was after his prison was broken into and before it was resealed. Now, any man who touches and uses saidin encounters the taint and gradually becomes corrupted by it. The taint causes madness in all its forms. When saidin was first corrupted and male channelers were plentiful, they all began to go mad at once, and this led to the cataclysmic event known as the Breaking. Some men, including Logain, are born with the ability to channel, and they will eventually channel saidin, whether they're trying to or not. Once they begin, if they survive, they won't be able to stop completely, and they therefore become a threat to everyone around them and the world itself. It's still safe for women who can channel to use their untainted half of the One Power, which is called saidar, and they are therefore the only ones who can stop these male channelers before they go mad and destroy the world. The White Tower, an organization of women who can channel, called Aes Sedai, are responsible for seeking out these men. Among them, the Red Aja in particular make it their mission to find men who can channel and protect the world from them by bringing them to trial and then performing what is called gentling. Gentling cuts off the men's ability to sense and use saidin. It also causes great harm to the men. Once they lose their ability to sense the power, they also lose their will to live, and most of them die quickly. Not only is Logain a man who can channel, but he is an exceptionally powerful one, which is incredibly rare millennia after men began to be gentled. Logain also claims to be not just any channeler, but a figure of prophecy called the Dragon Reborn. The Dragon Reborn is said to be a reincarnation of an almost mythical figure, the dragon, whose actions were said to have caused the breaking. Truthfully, in this age, people really understand very little of who the dragon was or who the Dragon Reborn is supposed to be, despite prophecies that exist and describe what the Dragon Reborn must do. Because of that confusion, I really can't tell you very much, only that people fear the very idea of the Dragon Reborn, almost as much as they fear the Dark One itself. Nevertheless, Logain believes he is the Dragon Reborn, and he has amassed many followers who believe it as well. However, there are also those, and among them Aes Sedai, who believe he is only a false dragon, and are bent on stopping him from amassing more power and gentling him as quickly as possible. Logain, on the other hand, is trying to fulfill the prophecies that would prove that he is the Dragon Reborn. Meanwhile, if the dragon actually has been reborn, it would mean that the last battle against the Dark One is swiftly approaching and the world is unprepared. There isn't a whole lot more I can tell you about Logain without spoilers. In the books, we first see him from an outside perspective and get a glimpse of his power and what make people both fear him and flock to him. then we gradually get to see more of his internal conflict. He's a fascinating character, and the actor who has been cast seems equally compelling. For Wheel of Time fans, his casting announcement might have been the first time you heard of Álvaro Morte when Rafe Judkins, the showrunner, had this to say about him. I am in love with Álvaro Morte. I cried real human tears in my office when I watched his performance of his first scene. He's gonna break you. It certainly wasn't the first introduction, however, for the many fans all over the world for this popular Spanish actor. He may in fact be the most popular actor who has joined the cast so far, with his over 470,000 Twitter followers and 11 million Instagram followers. He wasn't well known, however, until 2017, with the role of the professor in the Spanish series La Casa de Papel, later acquired by Netflix and called Money Heist in the United States. The red jumpsuits and Dali masks of this show have already become iconic. In fact, when Series 4 was released earlier this year, it became the world's most in-demand show across all platforms in April of 2020. Having watched the first season so far, I personally believe that Álvaro Morte's character, the professor, probably has a lot to do with the show's popularity. Even though he is not given top billing and this is an ensemble cast, his character is easily the most compelling. He plays the mastermind leading a group of thieves in an elaborate heist taking over the Royal Mint of Spain and a large group of hostages in the process. This is a morally ambiguous character, a kind of anti-hero, and one who always leaves you guessing, and at the same time always makes you feel for him and root for him in some pretty unexpected ways. What impresses me most is the way he manages to walk the line and play the conflict of a character who is either completely in control or watching things spin out of control at any given moment. If you're looking to check him out in something else as well, he was also in the 6-episode series The Head this past summer, which happens to star Alexandre Wilhelm, who will be playing Tom Marilyn in The Wheel of Time. From here on out, I am going to get into speculation about Logain's storyline in Season 1. I won't go into spoilers past Book 2, The Great Hunt, but if you haven't read that far, you're going to want to click off now, check out my other spoiler-free videos, and be sure to subscribe for more. We know that Logain's storyline is being expanded, so that we will see more of him in Season 1 than we saw in Book 1. In The Eye of the World, Logain's story is almost entirely off-screen. It is the major world-shaking events that we hear about but hardly see. It seems like we're going to be seeing a lot more of it in the show. So I'm going to go into more detail in my episode-specific prediction videos, but here I'm going to give you an overview of Logain. We know, for instance, that Álvaro Morte was in production during the time when episodes 3 through 6 were being filmed, and that he seems to have been wrapped for the season after that. So my belief is that Logain's storyline is going to take place over these middle 4 episodes of the season. So let's talk the basic plots of Logain's story in The Eye of the World, even though most of it we don't actually see. First, we hear about Logain amassing followers, winning battles, evading capture by the Aes Sedai. Then we hear that he battles the Aes Sedai and is captured. From there, they take him to Camelin, where he is displayed before Queen Morghese and the city, and Rand catches a glimpse of him, while Logain also glimpses Rand. After that, Logain is taken to Tar Valon, where he is gentled. And we don't see him again until Season 2, when he is a sad shell of a gentled man in the White Tower. So here are my thoughts on what we will generally see in those 4 episodes. In Episode 3, I think we're going to see Logain winning, amassing followers, generally evading or defeating anyone who tries to stop him, and only growing stronger. It may be strongly suggested that he is the Dragon Reborn. Then in Episode 4, which is called The Dragon Reborn, I think we're going to get a big battle with Aes Sedai and warders. I think at least one Aes Sedai, Kareen Nagashi, will be killed at that time, though not necessarily by Logain, but he might get the blame for it. And I think the episode will end with his shocking capture. Episode 5 is where I think we will see Logain in his capture being guarded by Aes Sedai and the group traveling. Maybe they make it as far as Camelin. At some point, I do hope we get that encounter with Rand in Camelin. And I don't know if that'll be in episode 5 or 6. In episode 6, I definitely think we're going to see the gentling of Logain. And it's going to be a devastating scene. The only thing that I'm a little unsure of is where that gentling would take place. Because just from a timing perspective, I have my doubts that we could fit in both Camelin and Tar Valon in these 4 episodes. So I almost lean towards the gentling happening in Camelin. Either way, there is going to be a large group of women, probably mostly Aes Sedai, there to witness the gentling. And that seems to be the end of Logain's story for this season. We probably won't see much of him post-gentling if he isn't in episodes 7 or 8, but that could be for the second season. I think this expanded storyline is going to help drive a central question for the season, which would be, who is the Dragon Reborn? I think they're going to try and make it hard to tell, even until the very end of the season or possibly beyond. And Logain is going to be built up as a real possibility in the middle of the season, so that when he has a downfall, it's actually shocking. Also, seeing what he goes through with his gentling would drive home how horrific that is. There are a ton of details that help explain how I came up with this sequence of events. But if you want all of that and more, look for my upcoming episode-specific prediction videos. If you missed the one where I covered episodes 1 and 2, you can check that one out right now. I hope you enjoyed this discussion of Logain and are as excited as I am to see Álvaro Morte in the role, which should only get more interesting as the series goes on. Leave me a comment and let me know what you're hoping to see from Logain in season 1. As always, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.